Hey guys, so we're going to be doing a little bit of a video on how to spray your rims. We've already done the calipers red, as you can see. Did that yesterday. There we go. But today what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be spraying the rims with what we call Plasti-Dip. There's a little bit of a trick to it. We figured out some of the nitty-gritty. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, here's to many more awesome looking rims. Cool, we'll be back with you now. So obviously before you start anything, just pop the cans in some warm water in the sink. It just makes this, because it's got a plastic base, it can be quite difficult to spray and gets quite thick, but if it's warm it becomes a little bit thinner and easier to spray on. So we took we started with 4 cans. You only see 3 here, but we've got 4 cans for 4 rims. Cool. Firstly, you start off by cleaning the rim. Obviously you want to make sure you get all the dust particles off it, because obviously the Plasti-Dip needs to bond to the metal, so any dust particles that are on the rim will just cause bumps and bubbles. So give it a good clean. What we've done is we've taken a 2-ton jack, and we've just managed to jack the whole side of the car up. Make sure you get a proper jack. We bought this one, I think, especially if you're going to do 2 rims at a time. Remember, it needs to dry, and you need to allow limited time for drying in between. So 1 rim would have taken a bit long. So Chrissy's busy cleaning the rims, and then we will take you through the next part. As you can see, we've already started on another one, but as we do this one, we'll show you what we're doing. Okay, so then obviously now we've cleaned it, washed it, dried it. Next part of it is a little trick that we're going to show you. There's many ways to do it, but we've figured out that the best way of doing it, because obviously you don't want to be spraying the tire, you only want to spray the rim, is we use playing cards. And we just slot them in there like that, all around the rim, as you can see, all around the rim. That prevents the tire from getting sprayed, and you end up having something that looks like that. So I'm going to carry on putting some cards in, and then we will add the first 2 dust coats, but we'll check that is you spray 2 dust coats, which is just a light spray, just to get the initial part of the Plasti-Dip just to bond, and obviously also helps remove some dust. But what it does is it starts to create an undercoat, almost like a primer if you would, and then when we start with the actual wet coats, it bonds to the metal much better. So there we go, that's 1 dust coat done. Leave it to dry a little bit and we'll do another one just now. That's the 2nd dust coat going on now. The 3rd one. So that's the 3rd dust coat. We've decided to do 1 extra. Just you want to make sure that that it bonds nicely, and then we'll let that dry for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will put the first of the wet coats on. So now that's the first of the wet coats. Awesome. There we go. And yeah, so that's just got to make sure you don't have to overdo it. You just get it just so that you've covered most of the areas, because obviously we're going to do 3 of these wet coats, and yeah, so it's just finishing up there. And once the wet coats are done, you leave it for about 15 to 20 minutes to dry, depending on how hot it is outside. Yeah. So we've just finished the last and final of the coats. We did 4 wet coats with 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes in between to dry. Taking the cards out, and that's basically the finished product. Looking pretty amazing. We'll put it back on the car just now and I'll show you. Cards are on the floor. There we go. As you can see, we sprayed the nuts as well. You need to be very careful when putting it on. Slowly in. Just turn until it's relatively tight. We haven't dropped the car yet, obviously. Back one's on already. And there we go. Dropped it down and you have a finished product. Perfect. Great job, pal.
Okay. Warm these up, get some more cleaning.